Indian Institute of Banking and Finance and Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad. We welcome first our Chief Guest, Sri R. Bhaskaran, Chief Executive Officer, IIBF Mumbai, onto the dais, please.
May I request Kirti to felicitate Sir with the bouquet? Mr. R. Bhaskaran. It is established in the year 1926. The institute had currently more than 250,000 individual members and about 650 corporate members, including almost all banks and financial institutions and a few leading IT BPO companies. Mr. Bhaskaran is a rank-holding postgraduate in commerce from Madras University. He holds a PG Diploma in Financial Management and PG Diploma in Treasury and Forex Management. He is a Fellow of the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance and a Certified Treasury Manager. He has held many positions in NABARD and rose to the level of as CEO of IIBF. He has written 2 books, namely An Introduction to Investment for Banks in India and Financial Risk Management. He is a member of the Academic Committee of IIBT and Eton Institute of Foreign Trade and a member of Research Committee of IBPS. He has also worked as a member of the Subcommittee of Planning Commission of India in preparation on Credit Delivery System. He is the editor of the IIB Vision, a monthly newsletter which has a circulation of more than 2.5 lakh copies, and the quarterly General Banquest, which has a circulation of more than 12,000 copies. Under his stewardship, the
Welcome,
you, sir.
Here we have Sri Anil Girotra Garu, preside over the function. He is the Executive Director, Andhra Bank, Hyderabad. Can I have Shrutija to felicitate Sir with a bouquet? Sri Anil Girotra Garu, Executive Director, MSc, LLB, CIIB, Diploma in Director on 17/5/2008. Prior to joining positions like headed Regional Office, Mumbai, headed Lucknow Circle covering Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand states, headed Kolkata Circle covering West Bengal, Orissa and Northeastern states, held senior position in Housing Finance Company of Canara Bank, headed Merchant Banking Division of the bank in Northern India. He has 33 years of varied experience in banking operations and administration. He evinces interest in anything new, be it technology, sports. We welcome you, sir. Now we request our beloved Director Sri R.K. Mishra sir to come on to the line.
Dr. R.K. Mishra sir is the Director of Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad, is a graduate of International Management Program, SDA, at Research States at the University of Bradford, United Kingdom, and was a visiting professor at Maison Lycée de la Homs, Paris.
Welcome you,
We
sir.
welcome you, sir.
Now we request Kirti to felicitate sir with a bouquet. Can we have now Dr. S. Srinivas? I request Kirti to felicitate sir with a bouquet. We welcome you, sir. We have now the welcome address by our beloved Director, Dr. R.K. Mishra.
colleagues from the institute, my colleagues from IPE, my senior colleagues, and all of you. I think it's a very important day, very great day, especially in the context of the global meltdown. We understand the role that the banking sector can play. We will see that America is going down the hill, but India has not suffered those great shocks. And the reason is very simple. The reason is that US is a capital market based economy, whereas India is not a capital market based economy, it is a bank based economy. And Indian banks have been very cautious in extending the term lending in the short term lending. And I think that has saved the day for our country. And now there is a need, I think, to ensure that our banking personnel, they do the work with much more grit and determination, with much more greater excellence, and India becomes the place from where banking activities all over the world go. And our banks, as Mr. Reddy, the former governor who has been a student of IPE, in the present RBI governor has studied here, Mr. Subbarao, as they say that we have to do something by which our banking system should become innovative. Our banking system should become larger in size. That's the issue. If we compare our banking system with banking system elsewhere, I think certainly we have done well, but there is a very great scope for us to do still better. But let me also tell, I think there is a good thing also to mention there. The contribution of banks in the planned economic development is something very, very notable. At one point of time, about 20 years back, about 30 to 40% of plant finance would come from the banks, but now it's much more. And I think about 3/4 of the plant finance is coming from banks, and I'm glad that Mr. Bhaskaran has been on that subgroup. So banking has a very, very great role to play. We also talk what Andhra Bank has done during the last couple of years, let's say last 2-3 years. Inclusive banking we have been talking. So now when we talk about banking, though we come, but with a need to change, we go out for years in the banking system. No, that's not the criteria. The criteria should be whether we are able to add some value, are we innovating some value over there, are we looking around and getting connected to different stakeholders in the society. As we talked to Mr. Prahlad, and Mr. Prahlad has come up with a book, Fortune at the bottom of the pyramid. Bottom of pyramid is very, very important. Of course, we talk of mass banking in mid-60s, and from mass, then we came to class because of private sector banking. And let me tell you, I think it's a good thing to mention that today, if we are very safe and secure, I think the credit goes to the public sector and also the public sector banks. And because all I need to read today, economic times, and today economic times, it sings great songs for public sector enterprises because public ownership is something which talks of balance. It's not an extreme that you either to go to this side or this side, and both the sides you are going to know very, very wide sea. So with the public sector banking, I think that has saved the day for us. But what is important there is, as I told, are we having a good team spirit? Do we have good leaders there? Are we getting connected to the different parts of society? Are we mobilizing our work? Are we in tune with the requirements of the finances, of different groups of people in the country? We talk about inclusive banking. Do we do that? Are we making a name in the world in terms of the produce side, in terms of bringing down the cost, in terms of increasing profitability, in terms of technologizing, operations, in terms of also, keeping in mind the aspirations of people who have come to bank. I think that's a very, very important part. Because we say that once you are in the bank, you are always a banker. Always, I think, when you join the banking system, everybody says that once you are in the bank, it's difficult to move. If that is the case, then like Mr. Bhaskaran and Mr. Balchan, I think they have been doing a great step. They are the educators, I think, in the banking system. Can we use the knowledge over there? Can we put the experiences at one place and can they go back and forth? I think these are very, very important things. And let me tell you, I think IPE has been in that field. If you are not through IPE, I tell you Mr. Dorfman and especially Mr. Bhaskaran, if you go through the IPE's MoU, which was signed on 8 May 1964, one of the first signatories was Mr. I.G. Patel. Now, I.G. Patel became the RBI governor. Everyone knows, and he also became director of the Women's School of Economics and Political Science. He became a member of Parliament, he was in the Planning Commission. So you can understand IIT is not for banking. That I think mission statement. When we talk about IIT is a mission statement. We also teach banking. We also work for banks. And I'm sure I think all the public sector is, I think too big. The private sector banks have come, we are for them, but they are not been able to take away a very, very great share of the Indian banks. You talk of Andhra Bank, I'm very, very sentimental about Andhra Bank, not because Mr. Jyotra is there, but Andhra Bank had participated. Mr. Sitaramaiah, Atal Sitaramaiah was President of Congress in 1935. I think great thing to remember. One. Number two, very close associate of Mahatma Gandhi. And number three, he, I think, gave us the spirit of savings. That I think very responsible, today, the safety and security of funds in our country. Somebody told Mahatma Gandhi when he came here, he went to Nawab, and Nawab, I was doing the final Nawab gave him a crore. And when Mahatma Gandhi was coming back to the place where he was going to stay, he was staying. A beggar was there in the street, and he wanted to do something to Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi just, stood around that point, and one beggar gave us just only 1 ton. Then somebody asked Mahatma Gandhi, "Sir, you got a crore over there and you stopped for 5 years." Then he told that a pile of a beggar is as much important as a crore which has been given by Nizam. So what is important there is that today we have been able to come out of this morass, and we have been able to walk through great conferences because Indians, whatever they are, if you are an MP, you save 1 time, you are a crore, you also save. That saving habit of thrift is there. And on that note, again I am very sentimental and very happy that Mr. Jyotra has come in Syndicate Bank. Canara Bank, and both Syndicate Bank, Canara Bank, they all came from Manipal. And Manipal's case on this piggy banking, that we teach in Harvard actually. Today we teach in Harvard, best of the banking habits have come from that place. And in fact, we talk about education, also we talk about monetization of education, where we don't want government, we want government guidance, but we don't want government money. So I am so happy today that we have Mr. Bhaskar, who could have gone anywhere in the world, but he chose to be in the educational sector for the banking. Mr. Bhalachandran, who is so kind, and he came last time, and he found some time for us. He came from one plan and was trying to catch another plan. Both the plans were, I think, they were in the right time, but he could make it. And also Mr. Bhaskar and Mr. Jyotra presents gives me a great distance, and we have very close relation with the Andhra Bank, in the sense that we have been working with the Andhra Bank in Manila. This is the place where Andhra Bank announced the cheapest loans for the driving students in MBA in the country. Mr. Ramkrishnan, he made that announcement in this very room. We are there, and of course Mr. Narayan Swamy has been coming when Mr. Vaivedhi was on that note. I once again welcome you and my friends Mr. Bhalachandran and my colleagues there. I am sure this advanced management program, because management is there, but the problem is not management, the problem is management advancing. Is it going backward? It is moving forward. I am sure this advanced management program, in very real sense, it will equip our bankers with the sword of knowledge, which will certainly know how customers, and which will allow them to take our banking industry forward. Let me quote, I think, the Japanese experience. In Japan, when we go to Sunrise, who are the best bankers, Sunrise funds are the cheapest in the world and unlimited funds. But a Sunrise is a warrior, and the warrior, like a Nag, Cobra, he sits on the wealth of the world. You have to have a war with that warrior, and if you can win, then the gold, coat of gold is there for you. So I am sure that this particular program, which is coming under the aegis of our Indian Bank Association and IPE, which will be headed by Dr. Murthy at IPE, which will be run under the guidance of Mr. Bhaskaran, Mr. Bhalachandran, and also under the guidance of the CMDs and EVs and top banking personnel of the country in India and I think elsewhere. I am sure it will give a big kind of age, not tech age, but certainly knowledge age to our banking personnel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for those kind and informative words. We now have addressed by Chief Guest, Bhaskaran Garu, Chief Executive Officer, IIBF.
Vinodra, and Dr. Mishra, my dear friends. I came for signing an MoU, not for giving a speech. So I am waiting for 12 days to want to speak. Then Professor Mishra has also substantially covered the banking. So I thought I would talk on something other than banking, can come back to banking a bit later. Let me start with today's debacle. One of the advantages of debacle is that there has been a statement made by Goldman Sachs about sometimes back in a study that by 2020 India will be a major country. America was unhappy about it. So they thought if we fail today, India will become a major country tomorrow. I think the indications are now very clear that with the type of strength that we have in our financial system and the strength that we have in human resources, we should be the world leaders much faster than we expect. It's this kind of institutions that become the ground for giving very good HR. When I was a student in the college, I was a commerce student, I did my MCom from Chennai. We always used to study a subject known as Indian economics. Immediately start with public population, and almost all of us will feel guilty that India is the most highly populated country in the way we teach about it. Today the world has come round. India is praised for its human resources. From being excessive population, we become good human resources. I think just before this conference was there was a conference on change management. What's happening is that world is changing, with that India is changing very fast. The type of world that we had and the type of world we are going to have is going to be substantially different. Today again, I learned another word when I was traveling with somebody. One of my friends said, we have started, United States has started to nationalize losses and privatize profit. When you make losses, the governments all over the world start rushing towards that and trying to say, in the interest of the country, in the interest of the finance, in the interest of the banking, let us protect. That is, when the profit was made, I don't think any of the people who are making profit shared with the public. But if you really look very closely at India, there have been massive bank failures, there have been systematic problems, there have been droughts, there have been other cash flow infirmities. All these things have been managed by the Indian banking system much more professionally, realizing well that there is a responsibility of the taxation. There is a responsibility of the country towards maintaining the financial system. And that's why sometimes the Honorable Finance Minister makes a statement saying that I would not like the public sector banks to dilute less than 51%. This gives a tremendous strength to the public sector banks because it's not very easy for a public sector bank to file a bankruptcy as was done as fast by Lehman Brothers deadline. There is a greater responsibility towards the society. There is a greater responsibility towards one's organization. So it runs. There is the other side, there is a blame that the public sector doesn't do as much as the private sector, we are not aggressive. Well, both have some plus points and minus points. Now we are seeing some of the minus points being very prominently spoken. Changes will happen. When I joined the bank, I joined Bank of India in 1975. I never went out of the bank. I used to sit and the people used to come to us and ask for business, and we were very selective. We were a bit choosy as to who will finance and who will not finance. I joined just after nationalization, 1969 it was nationalized. 70 to 75 the banks were still stabilizing, branches were getting open, more massive recruitment was taking place. All of us joined the bank with great hopes. Nothing has been delayed so far, we have done really well most of all. But we were told very repeatedly that the reason that the banks have been nationalized and the reason that we are working so closely is that India has to come out. For 30 years, from 1975, maybe to the end of 1995, Indian banking was a closed economy. There was very deliberate policy of planning and processes which kept the country protected from the international type of things that's happened. Only in the year 1995 onwards we started opening the economy, knowing very well that the banking industry has become much stronger and will be able to withstand the type of volatility that will happen if you globalize. In those days, we used to wait for the bankers, wait for the customers to come and ask, open an account. We were very selective. We were still doing private sector advance, so we were still doing that. Today, banking has changed. Today, banks do not allow you to think, either by SMS or by phone call or something. Always get somebody to offer you a product. We have education loans, we have car loans, we have house loans. You think of anything, we have a loan for that. The idea is the bank should also grow and the public should also grow in the process. It's this kind of speed of selling that becomes an issue when we try to think of banking. That's why education has become very important. I'll definitely tell that if we really start talking banking and talk about balance sheet, talk about derivatives, talk about options, talk about futures, talk about accounting standards, most of us will be left behind because it's a very, very complicated work. My institute, the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, is basically involved in giving education to the bankers themselves. Once you join a bank, knowing very well that you are going to do all your best for the bank, it's also necessary for you to understand the nuances of the bank. Till I saw the prospectus of MBA diploma in banking, insurance and finance, honestly I would say that the syllabus that was practiced by most of the colleges and the universities do not really reflect the realities of life. I'll be very frank, I did my MCom. I joined Bank of India, the best bank at that point in time. I was also selected in Canada Bank at that time. And they had to give me 1 year of probation to make me competent. I'm a rank holder of the university. They had to give me 1 year of probation to make me competent for handling bank and handling customers. What now we are looking forward is a system where at the time that you come out of the college or anybody comes out of the degree, you are employable and you are able to take on the load and right from the first day. There should not be any effort in the training. That means the expectation from the industry is that the institutions like IPE take the responsibility of making you job ready at the very first day. We in the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance are doing a massive role in that. We not only educate the bankers, we also take on the responsibility of going and addressing final year graduates, MCom, MBA and other people and trying to offer them a diploma in banking and finance, or we have other diplomas and certificates and management courses to make them job ready, give them the professional edge with the existing qualification, such that two benefits are true. One, the person becomes more employable. For the banking industry, which is our founders, which supports us with a lot of monetary, moral and physical support, they get a fantastic benefit because their training expenses, recruitment expenses and others come crashing with the system. It's necessary for the type of organization that I represent and the institutions to work together. Today we are taking a small step in the direction. We have developed an advanced management course specifically aimed at bankers, not at the graduates. If you ask me after I joined the job, almost every 5 years I have been taking some qualification or other because I believe that in the absence of qualification I fall into the technology or the knowledge gap and it becomes very difficult for us to come up to that. Banks seldom have the time, bankers seldom have the time to go back to the campus and study there. So when we were trying to do many of our courses, one of the thoughts that came to our mind is, why not we start a management course, why not we start it along with the learned institutions, aggressive institutions, who will take up the responsibility of teaching the subject. We will design, we will deliver, we will help them in the process. It is in this, the advanced management program idea was developed. It's about 460 to 475 hours of management, education and banking. I will honestly say that our other courses are mostly aimed at giving skills, knowledge on particular banking or a banking vertical, whereas this course talks about management. It will also have an incidental benefit to the institute because the banks will start visiting the campus. They'll have a good view of the campus and the placement skills. It will also give you the benefit of getting the people coming and talking about banking. Our youngsters will be much more professionally prepared than they were previously. I believe in collaboration because all the core competencies that the banks need, the institute does not possess. So we have gone across in the last 3-4 years and signed up with many institutions and collaborations where we work on the core competence of the institute. The management institute's core competency is their skills in teaching management, which is unique. I keep on lecturing on management. They do case studies, they have interactions, they have workshops, they have talks. The way of teaching education is different. The management institute is different in the other colleges. So we wanted to tie up with management institutes. I am very happy that the Institute of Public Enterprises here in Hyderabad has come forward to start this. Very soon I hope that banks like other banks, State Bank of Hyderabad and others will support us in good measure to start this course here. The bankers will come here. We expect them to either on Saturday, Sundays or on a full Sunday. We can spend with the professors here, understand banking. We have developed a detailed curriculum which is there for them. The benefit will be for today's banking much more important. Today there are major drivers in the banking industry. One is IT. Unlike the past when the systems were manual, today the banking is completely driven by IT. We have what is known as a core banking solution, which makes banking a great pleasure, which makes banking available in your pocket if you have a good mobile or in your credit card. There are two ways of looking. It has also distanced the customers from the bank. It has also made financial literacy a huge challenge because people do take loans of which they don't have any understanding. IT is one driver which is going to make possible mind-boggling volumes, at the same time cause some risk to the organization. The second driver is governance. Today's problem in the world of banking and finance has nothing to do with banking or finance. It has got everything to do with governance. It is not as if the people who did that were not aware that they are going to bring down the organization. We have a concept in the risk management known as value at risk. In most of the value at risk, we say that banks are expected to take risk up to one standard deviation, which means 95% of the time or 97% or 98% of the time they are correct. That 1% which is remaining is infinity. And that can bring the type of risks that are volumes of risk that we can't manage. And that happens whenever there is a downturn in the business cycle. There's a lot of learning that we need to do that. The fourth, or perhaps the one driver which is going to be very important for future is HR. Banking is personal. Banking is relationship. Banking is knowing your customer. Banking is understanding the customer's need, what his or her requirements are, and trying to offer products that will suit the customers. For this, what we need is not machines, not IT. Ultimately, it is how my officer or my staff in my organization is going to understand the customer and offer products that suit them. That's where financial inclusion is a very great challenge. Despite all the things that we talked so far, India has one problem which is very unique, even though we are still much below China in that. There also we are second to China, that's what I should say, that financial inclusion problem. There are a large number of people in the country who don't have a bank account. There are a large number of people who have poverty. Poverty is a manifestation of lack of enterprise. Poverty is a manifestation of lack of money and lack of knowledge. So we need to give them three. We need to give them money, we need to give them skills for managing money, we need to tell them what money trying to save the country. We almost spent 63,000 crores of money in the budget known as debt waiver, which is nothing but another way of saying there are risks in the banking system which we need to save. This is a calibrated, deliberate decision to support the banking system. See, banking is very complex. Maybe in the last 5-6 minutes I have talked a number of issues that a banker should know. If we believe that we have to work in the banking, at least part of this knowledge should be there with all of us. It not only needs to bring to this. For my institute, it's a great challenge to have this kind of alliances across the country I work with the bankers, I request the bankers to sponsor the candidates to see that this kind of program do very well. The speed with which the MoU is happening, the enthusiasm that the institute is showing, the encouragement that we have received from the banks all make me feel very comfortable today that yes, this will happen. Thank you very much, Professor Mishra, for making this happen. I should thank my colleagues for helping me in making this. Thanks all of you for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable and informative words. I now request Sri Anil Hirotra to give our presidential address.
Professor Mishra, Dr. Murthy, and my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Bhaskar, for inviting me to be here to preside over the function. I am in fact indeed happy to be a part of this function, primarily because I am also an old associate of the institute which Ms. Bhaskar is now heading. As a banker, anybody who joins a bank, the first desire or first ambition is to be a certified associate of the institute, so that we can be called as professional bankers. Even now, when we call our employees for any interview, the first question we ask, why did you not do your CIIB? This is